Good morning, I'm Dr. Lynne Kenney, and today on Dr. Lynne Weighs In, we are dealing with the heavy issue of our kids texting. What could be a good way for us to keep track of our teens can also lead to trouble. Joining me to weigh in is Dr. Sophy, Director of Child and Family Services in Los Angeles. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
If you've got a teen, chances are your teen is texting 100 times a day. So if you've got questions, Dr. Sophy has answers. Let's begin with the facts on texting and teens, Dr. Sophy.
Yes, texting and teens and texting and adults. Almost half of teens and adults are texting while driving. That's pretty scary. And I think we need to educate people, starting with parents, to be able to role model better so that everybody is safer.
You know, I see that you did a recent survey and the behavior between tweens and parents is very similar. How are we role modeling for our teens?
Well, as you can see by those numbers, probably not so well. And I think that texting and sexting and all of this new technology is very tempting and very wonderful stuff. However, we need to use it within safe parameters, which is why if you go to lgtexted.com, our website, you'll learn a lot of tools and a lot of ways to educate yourself as a parent and your child and to role model better, because they are great tools, but they have to be used safely and wisely.
Well, I read in your pre-publication documents that 90% of parents feel closer to their teens and tweens when they text. I know the moms I interact with definitely fall into that category. So can we talk for a second about some of the positive aspects of texting?
Absolutely. There is a tremendous amount of closeness and communication you can keep with your child using these modalities. However, it has to be role modeled properly. It's wonderful to know that you can just click onto something and find where your child is at, what they're doing, are they safe, do they have a way to reach back to you? They're all wonderful outcomes and utilizations from these technologies. However, we can't be doing that while we're driving, and we have to be able to role model it and do it at the right time in the right place, and then it's a win-win for all.
Now, about 50% of American adults admit to texting while driving. How can we tackle that?
Well, I think doing what we're doing right now is educating people, raising the awareness, knowing that we educate parents that their children are watching. Even if they're sitting in the back seat or if they're sitting right next to you in the passenger seat, they are watching. They are going to role model, because no matter what, you are their parent. They love you. They emulate you. Even if they're yelling and screaming as they go through puberty, they love you. So what you're doing has a huge impact on them. So teaching and educating parents and the role modeling that they do and the importance of all of that, I think, is the start of that kind of education.
You know, I think that's such awesome advice, because we all get kind of into this little telephone fog, you know, sitting at a restaurant or sitting at the stoplight, and it's important to be mindfully aware that our teens are watching. Because it seems like they're not. It seems like they're only interested in their friends, but believe me, Mom and Dad, they are watching.
Yes, out of the corner of their eye, they're watching. So it's important. Take that BlackBerry or that phone or whatever it is and put it in your purse or put it in the back seat so that you can focus on your child. Those are some of the best times to be able to talk to your child while you're captured in that car, and you're able to talk and open dialogue and text later on and show them that the dialogue that you're having is as important as the ability to communicate with them when they have their phones.
Dr. Sophy, sometimes we do give our kids the message that our phones and media matter more. It has something to do with our brains. We're seeking stimulation. Do you have any thoughts on why it's so darn difficult to put that phone down?
I do. I think it's very stimulating to the frontal lobes of our brains, which is that part of your brain right behind your forehead. And once that gets engaged in a technology, a video game or a phone, it's very difficult to put that down and break that stimulation and that connection. So it's important to really have the mindfulness and the self-control to be able to say, this is when I will text, this is where I will put my phone when I drive. These have to be concerted efforts. Sometimes it's important to even put your phone in your trunk so that you're not tempted to reach back for it. It is a stimulation to your frontal lobe that pulls you in so tight.
Well, you've got some great tips for the moms and dads watching Dr. Lynne Weighs In today. Tell us, are there any sites we can go to or anywhere else we can learn more information?
The best and most important place is lgtexted.com, which is our website to be able to give you tools, navigation tips, ways to have dialogues with your children, role modeling techniques, to be able to start the process, because educating parents is key for LG.
Well, it's our pleasure to talk with you today on Dr. Lynne Weighs In. We were here today with Dr. Sophy out of Los Angeles about safe texting for us and our teens. You have a great day, Doctor.
Thank you, you too.
Now, I'd love to hear you weigh in. So tweet us at Dr. Lynne Kenney or come find me on Facebook, because moms and dads know best.